A pleasant evening to all of us, especially to you, Ma'am Rochelle Valencia. I am Jovel Meharal Gardabe, and I'm going to tackle about emotion, nature, and management. First, we're going to tackle about emotion. Emotion comes from the Latin word "imovere," which means to move out. Emotions are spontaneous responses to a certain stimuli. It is a natural and random responses to situations that may cause anger, sadness, happiness, and fear. They are caused by stimulus that demands either positive or negative reactions. Emotions emanate from the right area of our brain that is basically subjective and feeling. For example, nakakita na ba mo sa movie nga Romeo and Juliet? So, in that movie, feel kong anger atong sa part nga tutulan sila sa father sa girl or ni Juliet. And sadness, I feel sadness about kanang sa ilang ending nga wala gid sila nagkadayon. So, and happiness, I feel happy kung magkita-kita sila sa balcony. Siyempre, gikilig ko gamay rapod. Di sa tamo gikilig, char. And fear adtong nga part sa kana pong magkita-kita sila cause pwede silang masakpan sa papa sa bayog na manay possible nga patyon siya sa papa sa bayi. Hindi lang po sa movie nga Romeo and Juliet na ma-feel ning mga emotions. Pwede po sa real life situation or sa laing mga movie. What kind of emotion affect you? A. Positive emotions. A classification of pleasant emotions which may include happiness, excitement, joy, relief, triumph, and jubilation. It connotes an expression wherein one finds himself smiling or laughing with a feel or of elation. So, di na ako mag-explain further pa ni nga part cause naman siya, understandable naman po siya. So, B. Negative emotions. A classification of emotion involving sadness, disgust, annoyance, anxiety, jealousy, fear, and the like. So, parihara naman po sila sa negara siya sa part sa positive emotions. Ragyang kakontra. So, kung ang positive emotion is all about happiness, excitement, and joy, ang sa negative emotion po nato is about sadness. So, next part na punta. The nature of stress. Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, and nervous. Stress is your body reaction to a challenge or demand. Stress is defined as a state of extreme difficulty, pressure, or strain. It is a way by which the body responds to a pressure from the excitement environment. Stress is not pleasant as it puts the mind and the body in a dilemma where it is threatened or challenged. When an individual is pushed to move out of his comfort zone, then much stress is imminent. Life changes, therefore, are stressful, but then again, it is entirely dependent on an individual who will view his current circumstances as either stressful or not. And the concept of stress was developed by Hans Selye in 1936, which brought forth the theory of stress reaction known as general adaptation syndrome. This states that a body under stress generally undergoes three responses stages, which is alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. Alarm happens when the individual recognizes the threat, and resistance is when the person decides either to confront the stressor known as fight or to run away from the stressor, flight. And the final phase, which is exhaustion, is where body's resources will be depleted. We have two types of stress: positive stress or eustress. This is experienced by the body as an unpleasant stimulus becomes a source of motivation. And so, despite the provision of effort and extreme sacrifice, whether psychological or physical, the individuals is to motivate to push more to achieve goal. And second one is negative stress or distress. This type of stress causes not only pain in the mind, but also in the body, as it makes the individual literally sick. This may be the stressor bringing about the feeling of emptiness, helplessness, and hopelessness. So, about positive stress or eustress. Positive stress is kanang ang ganang bitang murag stress, example kuan kanila, example gilang gisura kanila bugo, but that kind of bully imo siyang gigamang motivation para mas mo up ka, imong i-bring up nimo mo kagalingon nga imong i-prove nimo nila nga dili ka bugo. And negative stress or distress. So ang negative stress is kanang yung na-feel na gid bitaw nimo nga lonely ka if kanang ikaw na lang gid sa wala kay masaligan. Like murag feeling mo ikaw na lang bitaw tao sa kalibutan, like wala nakaka-feel og happiness, like murag wala na siya sa imong vocabulary. And the next one is all about effects of extreme emotions and stress. Stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of demand or treat. When you feel threatened, your nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, which rouse the body for emergency action. Number 1, physical impact. So, physical impact, direct contact with the agent of neglect harm, as contrasted with the purely mental or emotional impact. Health problems. The term health problems means a disease or medical ailment or an environmental condition that poses the risk of disease or medical ailment. So, number 3, cognitive symptoms. Cognitive symptoms is a mental process of learning, understanding, and communicating. Cognitive symptoms are common and can be caused by brain or spine tumor, side effects of medications, treatment, and other health condition or sleep issues. Emotional symptoms. Emotional symptoms are defined as daily presence of at least one of 4 symptoms: feeling low, irritable or bad-tempered, nervous, and having difficulties falling asleep. So, number 5, behavioral symptoms. Behavioral symptoms are persistent of repetitive behaviors that are unusual, disruptive, inappropriate, or cause problems. Aggression, criminal behavior, defiance, drug use, hostility, inappropriate sexual behavior, and inattention, secrecy, and self-harm are examples of behavioral symptoms. For example of physical impact, increase the rate of depth breathing, blood becomes more concentrated, heart and pulse rate increases, senses becomes extremely keen, butterflies in one's stomach, goosebumps, cold sweat, dry mouth, and adrenaline rush. Example of health problems such as pain of any kind, heart disease, digestive problems, sleep problems, depression, weight problems, autoimmune diseases, skin conditions such as eczema. So, example of our cognitive symptoms such as memory problems, inability to concentrate, poor judgment, seeing only the negative, issues or racing thoughts, constant or worrying. And for our emotional symptoms, which is moodiness, irritability or short temper, agitation, inability to relax, feeling overwhelmed, sense of loneliness and isolation, depression or general unhappiness. And another example of our behavioral symptoms, which is eating more or less, sleeping too much or too little, isolating yourself from others, procrastinating or neglecting responsibilities, using alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs to relax, nervous habits, for example, nail biting and pacing. This ends my report, and my group mates will continue the other information about emotion, nature, and management. And that's all. Thank you.